Once upon a time, in the ancient city of Rome, there lived a man named Marcus. He was not a king or a warrior, but an ordinary man who struggled with his own mind. Every day Marcus woke up with grand plans, to work hard, to stay disciplined, to control his temper. But by sunset he often found himself giving in to laziness, anger, or distractions. He felt weak, as if his willpower was slipping through his fingers like sand. One evening, after another day of broken promises to himself, Marcus sat by the river, staring at the water. He wondered why he couldn't be stronger, why his willpower failed him so often. That night, he dreamed of an old philosopher with a long beard and calm eyes. The philosopher spoke without moving his lips, as if the words came from the air itself. "Willpower is not a gift given to a lucky few," the philosopher said. "It is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with practice." The Stoics knew this. They trained their minds as athletes train their bodies. When Marcus woke, he remembered the name Stoicism, and decided to seek out its teachings. He visited the library, where scrolls of wisdom written by men like Epictetus, Seneca, and the Emperor Marcus Aurelius were kept. As he read, he learned that Stoicism was not about suppressing emotions or pretending life was easy. It was about understanding what he could control and what he could not. The Stoics believed that most suffering came from trying to change things outside one's power, while neglecting the one thing truly within control, the mind. Marcus began with small exercises. Every morning, he would wake before dawn and stand in the cold air, resisting the urge to return to his warm bed. At first, his body screamed at him to stop, but he reminded himself, "This discomfort is temporary. My will is stronger than this feeling." Some days he failed, but he did not punish himself. Instead, he reflected on why he had given in and promised to do better the next day. He practiced enduring hunger. At meals, he would leave a portion of his food untouched, not because he lacked enough, but to remind himself that he could live with less. His friends laughed. "Why suffer when you don't have to?" they asked. Marcus replied, "If I cannot endure small discomforts, how will I face true hardship?" Anger was his greatest challenge. When someone insulted him, his face would burn and his fists would clench. But the Stoics taught him that insults were just words. They only had power if he gave it to them. So, when a neighbor mocked him for his new way of life, Marcus smiled. "Thank you," he said, "for giving me a chance to practice patience." The neighbor, confused, walked away. Over time, Marcus noticed a change. Where once he would have lost his temper, now he paused. Where once he would have quit a difficult task, now he persisted. His willpower grew, not because he was born with it, but because he had trained it. He understood now that discipline was not about perfection, but about progress. Even the strongest will had moments of weakness, but what mattered was returning to the path. One winter, a great storm destroyed part of his home. Before, Marcus would have raged against the gods or drowned in self-pity. But now, he simply gathered wood and began repairs. A friend, seeing his calm, asked, "How can you be so strong?" Marcus replied, "The storm was not in my control. My effort to rebuild is." Years passed, and Marcus grew old. Young men came to him, asking the same questions he had once asked himself. "How can I be stronger? How can I resist temptation?" He told them the secret was not in grand gestures, but in daily practice. "Willpower is like a fire," he said. "At first it is small and must be fed carefully, but tend to it and it will grow strong enough to withstand any storm." And so, the man who once struggled to rise from his bed became a teacher of resilience. His life was proof that willpower was not inherited but built. One choice, one challenge, one moment of resistance at a time. The Stoics had shown him the way, but it was his own effort that made the difference. If you seek to strengthen your willpower, remember Marcus. Start small. Embrace discomfort. Reflect on your failures without despair. And above all, remember that the power to endure, to resist, to persist, lies within you, waiting to be awakened. The path is not easy, but it is simple, and it begins with a single step, the decision to try.